Somebody asked me recently, "What you drinking, brah?" And I'm like, "Drinking espresso straight." And people are like, "Why are you drinking that?" I mean, this is somewhat relevant, I suppose. Um, should you drink caffeine or not? That's up to you. I was Mormon for 42 years, so drinking caffeine is an act of rebellion, if nothing else. However, that's not why I drink it. I drink it because I like it. Um, I have found espresso, double espresso, to be more consumable. It has for me, it has less acid in it. I generally finish it before it is cold. And if you drink are a coffee drinker, you know what I'm talking about. Unless you have a thermos. The other thing about coffee, coffee is very, very acidic, way more acidic than espresso. Um, and double espresso is kind of it's like a dosage. So I know how much caffeine I'm getting. Mm. As I, actually, I got turned on to espresso. Also, espresso is the basis for a mocha, which I really love. If I'm feeling kind of happy and indulgent, I'll do a mocha, which I had no idea. I actually went in to go. I went because I was Mormon, right? So I went in to go get to a barista. Did I say that right? I don't know. I don't even know what a tall is yet. I'm still like totally uneducated on what coffee stuff is about. My German wife has been responsible for my education regarding coffee. Um, and so I yeah, so I went in and ordered. And I said, "Hey, could you put that? Could you put an espresso in some hot chocolate? That sounds like it would be really good." And you mean a mocha? I went, "Yeah," and I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what a mocha was. So now, so yeah, so occasionally I'll indulge in a mocha, and that's just it's hot chocolate with, if you need a little blood sugar pump. Um, Obviously, I don't depend on that. I also do make my own energy drinks and stuff like that when I go biking. Um, I don't usually do that unless it's going to be a really long slog. Um, some studies have found an association between moderate coffee consumption and a reduced risk of mortality, suggesting coffee drinkers may live longer. Dennis Last Miles is a huge fan of coffee, also a genius, and there is very, very objective evidence that coffee does enhance endurance performance. However, it takes something like 45 minutes to get the true effects of caffeine ingestion. So they found out. So there's a lot of people that were doing caffeine gels, cyclists and stuff like that, and they would have a gel to boost up their final push. This was actually recently, they talked about this on GCN. And the caffeine doesn't fully kick in for 45 minutes. So if you're going to do caffeine as sort of a performance enhancer for endurance, which is legal, by the way, and UCI and everybody else are okay with caffeine for that kind of thing. So yeah, I personally, you can definitely overdo it, and I've had too much caffeine before, and then I immediately want to fall asleep because it crashes me down. And that's another reason that I like a double espresso because I know exactly what the dose is. I know how much I'm getting. It's super easy to make. It's a couple scoops and boom, you make it. And actually, I was going to say earlier, I got kind of turned on to the idea of espresso by watching a documentary about the largest um, collider in the world, particle collider, the Hadron Collider in CERN, and it they have this like really amazing espresso machine, and these like ridiculously intelligent physicists are regularly on the in the video they're like grabbing an espresso shot to power them up, and then they go back to their chalkboard or to their tools, whether they're whether they're theoretical or practical. By the way, if you haven't seen the what is it called, the documentary about the very first use of the Hadron Collider in CERN, called Particle Fever. Really great documentary. It's actually engaging. A lot of times documentaries are not engaging. It's very, very engaging. At one point at SkillStack, I gave extra credit for whatever that's worth to people who would watch it and kind of report back. So I give it credit. I give it credit for kind of legitimizing my use of espresso for to improve my ability to think. Um, after you drink coffee. Okay, that's all.